When you see a matchup like Real Madrid versus Almeria, the winner is very, very obvious. You would likely not get any value if you're placing a bet on Real Madrid to win the game because they are the obvious favourites. Although, if you put an handicap on Real Madrid or you put an handicap on Almeria, depending on how you want to go about it, you could get some value via handicap betting. And in this Betting Academy video, I'll be explaining what handicap betting is about and how you could take advantage of it. And on that note, everyone watching this video is advised that this video is only a pointer and you're advised to make your own research before and your own conclusions before you follow any tips given in this video. And also don't forget to gamble responsibly and stake with money you can afford to lose. And moving forward, I'll go on to explain what handicap betting is about. Handicap betting is simply when a player places a bet on a team that has been given a virtual advantage. It can either be a positive handicap or a negative handicap. I'll give an example using the game I cited at the beginning of this video, Real Madrid versus Almeria. If Real Madrid and Almeria are playing, the obvious favourites to win are Real Madrid. And if I go on to say I'm giving Real Madrid an handicap of -2, that means Almeria are leading the game by 2 goals ahead, and you are placing a bet on Almeria that they won't lose by more than 2 goals. So if the game ends up in a 1-0 victory for Real Madrid, because you gave Almeria 2 goals up front, you still won the game and your bet still played out correctly. But if Real Madrid end up winning the game by 4-0 and you gave Almeria an handicap of 2, it ends as 4-2, so meaning your bet did not play out correctly. In the same vein, you can also take it from an angle of reducing the odds for the favourite, meaning I would say I'm giving Real Madrid handicap 3, so if they end up still winning 2-0, your bet still played out correctly. So depending on how you want to do it, you can take handicaps from a positive side or from a negative side. But the aim of handicap is to level the playing field between the favourites and the underdogs and to get value for a game that would naturally not give you so much value. So why handicap betting holds value for bettors? Like I already mentioned, it holds value because it gives an equal footing. A side like Real Madrid and Almeria or Liverpool taking on Ipswich, the favourites in both games are obvious. But when you use the handicap route, it can help level the playing field a bit and you can have something to place a bet on, rather than going to the 1x2 route where that would literally give you little or no value, or the odds will be next to nothing. Another thing about handicap betting is that you get an understanding of the teams. It helps you understand which teams are strong and which teams are weak for future reference, and it can help you in selecting other bets because you have an understanding on how the bookmakers think these team strengths are reflected. Now I'll be going further into tips on handicap betting strategies and how you can utilize this style of betting in your predictions. Now that you know what handicap betting is all about, I'll be moving on to share handicap betting strategies and tips you can follow if you want to utilize this form of betting in your predictions or your betting slips. The first and most important thing to do before you go into handicap betting is to analyze the teams properly, know their form, know what value you can get, because bookmakers may give some certain handicaps that could not give you much value. If a bookmaker gives Almeria maybe 1 goal ahead when they are playing against a side like Real Madrid, it offers little to no value because Real Madrid can easily win that game by 3 or more goals and you'll still be left with nothing. It's almost as good as you just placing a bet on Real Madrid to win the game. Also, it is important to evaluate player absences. I'll still stick with Real Madrid versus Almeria as the example I was given. If Real Madrid and Almeria are playing and all of a sudden, maybe in a build-up to the lineup, something happens and for some reason or the other, Mbappe and Vinicius are no longer in the starting lineup. Real Madrid are still favourites to win the game, but it looks like their attacking power has been reduced a bit. The number of goals that you're expecting them to score before has now reduced because these 2 players will be absent, and that could change the dynamic of things. So always note player absences. Also research head-to-head form between both sides. There are some teams that might appear as favourites in form of the bookmakers, but you know that traditionally they struggle against a certain side. In the Premier League, for instance, Manchester City, they beat sides home and away, but they always struggle against Brentford, for reasons that we just can't explain. So when you are aware of all these kinds of statistics, these are also things to put at the back of your mind. Also, research home and away form. Some teams just tend to be undefeatable at home. They tend to raise their game when they are playing at home. Crystal Palace had a very, very strong run towards the last 10 games, home games of the season last season. They were almost unbeatable at home. And you need to always watch out for this kind of trends to follow when it comes to handicap betting. Also, track and analyze your handicap betting results to know which one has been favoring you the most. If you are going to always if you notice that you've played handicap betting 10 times and you get more value when you're backing the favorite, when you are reducing the handicap of the favorite, then that means that's your strong suit. If you also get more value when you are going with the underdog, maybe you should focus on that. Never forget to always have a betting sheet where you track your results and know where you are getting it right and where you are getting it wrong. And most importantly, have a very good bankroll to go with and don't stick with money that you cannot afford to lose. Betting on handicap is very simple, but you should not get carried away. There are some games that you should even strictly avoid, regardless of the handicap, because it could be a whitewash. When you see teams like maybe when you see Real Madrid facing a very low-ranked team and you know that this game could end 5-0, those kind of games, you are better just avoiding them completely. Or you see Man City taking on a team like Burnley for any reason at all, maybe in the FA Cup or whatever. Avoid those kind of games because you might even get zero value even via handicap. Always know the kind of games to go for handicap betting. Follow all the tips I've given in this video and you might just have a stronger chance of winning your handicap betting. Once again, don't forget to bet responsibly, stick with money you can afford to lose, and continue to stick with us on Betting Expert Nigeria for more betting academy tips. And before I go, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell us in the comment section below what kind of handicap betting strategies will you be using this season. Till I see you next time, stay cool.